Hello, hello. We are live. At least it says so. I hope we are. There's the live button. Oh, my apologies. I thought I was live for the last 15 minutes. So I basically just did a run through. Hilarious. I was talking to myself. Who knew? All right. So thank you guys who are still here, patiently waiting. For those who are late, well, bonus. You didn't miss anything. Oh, I'm so excited to join you again and do a little pop-up. Do a little pop-up and see where you're at and what are the next steps. I don't know. What are the next steps moving forward? All right. So, as you know, we just finished the Clutterbuster Challenge 2022 last week. It was a great success. You guys did wonderful work. And I don't want that energy and that motivation and that momentum to drop off. You may have already felt that because the videos are down and you're back to, Monday, Tuesday, back at work, normal life. So without the support like I gave you in the Clutterbuster Challenge, that is often what happens. All right. And that's why I've offered to you Space for Grace, and there's just today left to join. The group starts next week. We've already had some people join, and we're so excited to get started. And in fact, even from the moment that you join and click yes, you can look at the materials right now, even before we start next week. For those of you who have questions like what will it be like technically? What's included? What days of the week are you going to meet? What if I can't? What if life takes over and I miss some time? All of that is answered in the link. That's why I keep posting the link, and I'll post it again here. And there's a frequently asked questions at the bottom. So you can look at all of those. And of course, I'm available today. Just send me a DM. Just message me through Facebook. Okay? And I'll answer all those concerns. So, why Space for Grace? Why say yes? Why take a program? Why make a move from last week to what I'm proposing for next week and for the next 6 weeks? Well, let me tell you that, first of all, it comes down to your feelings. And I heard your feelings last week, and I've heard them from people for the last 15 years, and let me share what some of them are. And you may see yourself in some of these. So before people work with me, before they take Space for Grace, they feel overwhelmed, of course. Everybody often talks about that. They feel frustrated and stressed and pressured and taken for granted. And maybe that's you in your home. And often they feel heavy and exhausted. So I don't want that for you. Well, after you work with me, and some of you felt this last week, so you want to continue that feeling, you feel after Space for Grace liberated, motivated, free, clear, encouraged. I've actually had people say, I can finally breathe at home, in my own home, at ease and determined and lighter. So, what about relationships? Well, I see this a lot. And some of you asked about this last week. Is what about my husband? What about my partner? What about my kids? I'm doing everything. So, guess what? Before you do this work, the relationships are often strained, disconnected. You might be off all in your own pods of the house and doing your own thing, but not connected. So, therefore, unfulfilling, distant, or chaotic. Like it's just circling around you all the time. You can't catch your breath. You finally just collapse in bed at night. And then you can't turn your brain off because all the things you couldn't get done because it was so chaotic. And some of you might be feeling really lonely. Really lonely. You're in your home alone. You don't have a family and it's all you amassed in front of you. So that's why group programs, and that's why I'm choosing this model right now to present to you. It's because not only will you get me week after week after week, you'll get people just like you. And just like you experienced last week, everybody was cheering everybody on. Everybody was celebrating. Everyone was congratulating people who won. You're going to win every day. All right. So from that, you feel connected with your family. You feel joyful. You feel calm. You feel fulfilled. And everything just feels easy. Let's go to health for a second. And why I'm talking about all of this is clutter is the surface. Just like clutter lands on your surfaces, clutter is the indication that something is not working or is blocked in your life. So think about, when did this start? Right? When did this start? Hester asks, I got an email, you closed the doors already at 11 a.m. No, the email didn't say that. I'll go back and double check. But I took down the emails, or sorry, the videos from the Clutterbuster Challenge. Those are down, as some of you have seen. The doors are open till tonight, Tuesday the 18th. Okay, so you have all the way to tonight to discuss with your family, think about it, and then go check out those links like I suggested. So as I was saying, it's the surface, and then it affects all kinds of things in your life. And let's talk about health. When people come to me, they're complaining of, because I do the attraction point audit with them. And even though I did that with you guys on Monday night, because it was such a large group, the one thing I wasn't able to do was connected to this giant encyclopedia that I have called Metaphysical Anatomy. And it is amazing, the connection between all the clutter, the mind clutter, and then your physical body. So I've had clients with lower back pain. That usually links to powerlessness. I've had clients with shoulders and neck pain, and that usually links to not good enough, feelings of taken for granted, not seen. Clients with IBS, tinnitus. IBS connects to walking on eggshells. If you feel anxious and not at ease in your own home, or just in your energy, in your body. Migraines are a big one. If you suffer from migraines and you have clutter, and it's both have been going on for years, this will improve. Sleeplessness, big one. And that's also connected to depression and anxiety. Everything is connected, right? So let's break those connections of those, things that we don't want, and bring you over to feeling rested, first of all, happy, empowered, energetic, like you want to exercise, you have space to roll out your yoga mat or take a class, having people over, connected. And let's just talk about finances. Some of you may be interested in feng shui, and feng shui is the art of following the energy in your home. Qi, they call it. I like to talk about law of attraction. It's very similar, but I find it's a little more tangible and a little less woo-woo, so more people are attracted to it. And it makes a lot of sense. So as I said, we're all energetic beings. And so when your hallways are blocked, often your inner hallways are blocked, your inner, your digestion, your mind. You can't think, you forget things. You're late. And the same thing happens with finances. If you have that stuck energy in your home, your finances often feel stuck. If you can't move around freely in your closet, your finances often feel restricted. Is this you? Or you might be feeling really anxious in your home from all the clutter, not wanting to let people in, therefore feeling even more alone. And you might be worried about your finances. So is that you? And when we clear the clutter, well, the flow opens up, right? Clear that, money flows in. It's surprising. Everything feels easy. And the law of attraction really starts to work because you're vibrating. You feel successful. It feels fun. And then finally, I want to touch on spirituality, because we are all spiritual beings having a physical experience. And when our physical experience is that of clutter weighing us down, our spiritual beings are not getting through. And they're there talking to us literally right now, all the time. They're here with us. And we can't hear the synchronicities. We can't get the intuition. We can't get the ideas. And therefore we feel lack. We feel we don't feel like the law of attraction works for us. And we wonder why we can't get rid of the clutter year after year after year. And that takes a toll on you spiritually. And so after clearing, and this is not just the physical clutter, of course, it's the emotional clearing work. That's why I got certified as a freedom leader with Nick Bro. I wanted to be able to bring this level of clearing work to my clients, not just the physical stuff, because it's about so much more than that. So people feel spiritually like, yes, me. Finally, I don't feel so lost and confused and on my own. And, why me? I feel like, yes, me. I feel like I'm believing in life again. And I see my clients become possibilitarians where they were always like, I can't, I should, I don't know how. And they feel worthy. When you are connected with your inner being, when you clear your dominant negative emotions that hold all this clutter, mental and physical, in place, all of these things are possible within Space for Grace. GRACE is the acronym for the 5-step method to clear your clutter for good, and it does. G, going within. R, release without fear, and that's 2 weeks of the program. A, alignment, and get aligned. What goes with what? Like with like. What should go in this room of my house? So it's both practical and law of attraction based. And C, I could not fit this one in last week's Clutterbuster challenge, but cultivate. Cultivate the life you want to live. Cultivate new habits. Have awareness over the habits that have been fighting against you time and time again in this struggle with clutter. And with support, make these new habits stick. And speaking of sticking, the last module is really the celebration module. It's about empowerment, energized. It's about, I'm losing my words, embody and embrace. And so once you release all of this, you get to this new person. Honest to God, I've had clients who, through Zoom, I can barely recognize. They've cut their hair, they decided to get laser eye surgery, they're not wearing glasses anymore, they've lost weight, they're happier and getting along with their spouse, they're wearing different clothes. It's amazing. And I want that for you. All right? So I'm just looking here. We don't have any questions in the chat. So yeah, are you going to make that choice? Are you going to dive in to Space for Grace? We get started next week. So have a look to the links today. And tomorrow, those who have decided to empower themselves and make the choice towards freedom, towards all these things that feel so much better than where you're at. Tomorrow, I'm going to be messaging those people, and together we're going to consult on which day and which time is best for the group. Because we have people in all sorts of different time zones. Just because I did the Clutterbuster Challenge at 7 p.m. Eastern, believe you me, that's actually my least energetic time is in the evenings. I just know it's when most people are available, so that's when I put it. But we will likely be working during the day. We'll find out what your time zones are, and it's a small group, so we're going to find out what works for you. Okay, so you can literally get started on the materials today, and then we'll get started with the live calls next week, which will be recorded. You'll have them all in the private Space for Grace Facebook group. Can't wait for you. Thank you so much, guys. Bye. See you soon.